What's up, everybody? This is Chris here with Down the Line Media, here with my co-host Liam. And today is a very special day because not only is Father's Day coming up, but we also have Champagne Poppy dropping a new album today. So, Liam, I'm excited to talk about this record with you. Excited to get your thoughts and details. And again, thank you all for your support. Feel free, if you've listened to the album, feel free to leave a comment down below on what you think. But in the meantime, let's get it.
Honestly, never mind. This is what the record is called. Chris, last night you called me. It was like 6 o'clock, and you said, new Drake record. That's what you told me. You said new Drake record. You called the group chat. I think we were all kind of dumbfounded.
We all were, honestly. And this was a project that Drake had no marketing behind. He didn't promote this album at all.
Yeah, I feel like you have to be at a certain caliber, a certain level of artist in size and scope to be able to just like release a record. You can do that when you're smaller to drum up buzz. I feel like a surprise drop has been done before. I mean that was kind of established 10 years ago with albums like Beyonce records, Kanye records. Drake can just do that. That's just what he can do, and we'll see how people take it. So when we finally listened to this, we had, you and I on our call, we had all these ideas of who was going to feature, what kind of style of music. Honestly, Nevermind was going to be, I think this kind of brought us back to college with If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. That was, I think, his last surprise drop. Maybe Dark Lane demo tapes was also a surprise drop. But that first record, If You're Reading This, It's Too Late, that got me so excited. I really thought we were going to have another record with that similar style, that similar cadence, energy. What did you think with the surprise drop? Because we were throwing out all sorts of names, man.
Yeah, we had a lot of theories on who was going to be on the record. And because it was such a spontaneous drop, it didn't really give a lot of music fans a lot of time to even think about what would be on this Drake record. And maybe that was done a little bit intentionally by Drake. But for me personally, I honestly, not being a big fan of CLB, because in the last few records I've had problems with Drake for this record.
Yeah, he feels like he's getting very stale.
Well, that because I feel like his records, for the most part, recently have been very bloated. Obviously, it's more of a business decision to have as many songs on an album as possible for streams. But for the last few records, it just seemed like a lot of the songs were out of place, or they didn't fit the theme, or there was no theme of a record. It just seemed like a compilation of songs.
Yeah. So that's an idea that he's been playing around with for, I would say, at least the last 6-7 years. Ever since More Life, when he started calling these records like playlists. This one's a mixtape. This one's a playlist. This one's a SoundCloud demo, right? This one's Lucy's. He's trying to destroy the word album and just make you feel and make you understand his records the way he builds them, which is, like you said, a playlist, right? It's not that the albums are bloated, but he just has a little bit of style for everyone. And what that creates is an inconsistent record. I think, honestly, Nevermind succeeds. We haven't even talked about the elephant in the room, but this album succeeds because it stays in one lane, which I think is great. And I think for Drake, this actually is a huge departure from anything he's ever done before. This is a dance record. That's what it is. This is a dance record.
And to piggyback off of what you said, because he has so many different sounds and versions of Drake, his previous records feel, like you said, a playlist. So immediately from a first listen, from Honestly Nevermind, that really grabbed my attention was the fact that he was using a sound that he hasn't really used that much in the past. Yeah, he's made dance hall and like dance music tracks before, but he's never really made a whole album dedicated to it. So from the first listen and listening to all of these in-depth, detailed instrumentals, listening to this style of music, it's really well with him singing, honestly.
I kept waiting for the track to not be a dance song. Like I'm listening to the intro. I'm like, okay, this is cool. This feels like a statement. It's a different vibe. Falling Back came on. I'm like, the singing is so weird and almost bad. I remember like smirking to myself, being like, this isn't real. Mind you, I'm listening to this at like midnight. And then Text Go Green happens, Currents happens, A Keeper happens, and I'm just waiting for a rap song. It never comes, but I'm not even disappointed. You want to talk about how I mean, we were texting each other listening to this at midnight. You had mentioned that this is, it reminds you of Dawn FM, which is a record that I loved this year. I actually am a huge fan of dance music. I mean, what was the first thing that made, like, what was the catalyst for you thinking that?
What gravitated towards a weekend comparison, the last two records that the Weeknd's had, After Hours, Dawn FM,
Sure, sure, sure.
he's really owned like the 80s synth pop dance music.
It's
And
so good.
it's fit him perfectly. Now, a lot of people, I mean, some people compare The Weeknd and Drake because they're both R&B singers from Toronto, and they both have had similar, very successful careers.
They've got some history.
They've worked together in the past too, but the reason why I thought about The Weeknd when I was listening to this record was just because of the instrumentation, him singing. It just kind of reminded me of The Weeknd, which is not a bad thing. And I'm sure there's a competitiveness between Abel and Weeknd and Drake, like a friendly competition. Obviously, they both respect each other because they're both from the same city. So maybe like Drake has seen The Weeknd be super successful doing this style of music. So maybe Drake's being pushed and motivated to be like, okay, well, maybe if that's worked for The Weeknd, I could try that. I'm just as good of a singer as The
Yeah.
Weeknd.
What confuses me though is like everyone has been so critical of Drake, and he does not budge because he has no financial incentive to actually do anything different. He's been doing the same thing for what feels like 10 years and has just become more and more successful. Why would you change? Like, don't listen to haters. Kanye said it. I don't listen to people less successful than me, right? That's Drake's mindset. Why? I mean, I guess that could be it. It's like maybe he's reached a level where he feels untouchable. So now he's like, I just hope he's finally realized he can do things that are creative. He should, like, this is a risk. People are already like dismissing it 20 minutes into the record release. People are already dismissing it as like his worst record. He fell off, and I'm like, you guys are ridiculous. Like, it's just it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a dance record. What I kept seeing is that everyone wants a rap record, and I'm like, I do too. So this is my theory. I think he's like, okay, I give you CLB, right? I give you Scorpion. I give you whatever. It's got a little bit of everything. And you say it's bloated. You say, like us, the fans, we say it's bloated. We say it's not very good because it has too many, it's going in too many directions. I think what Drake's plan is to drop this record, which I think is I think honestly Nevermind is already, I'm listening to it like a playlist. It's so good. I just let it loop. This is the dance one. And then if we were to take a look at the very last song with 21 Savage, maybe that's an indication of the next record he's going to drop in another 9 months. Maybe we actually do get the full rap record, no BS, right? No dance, no fluff, no R&B, just rap. And then maybe he drops another record and it's all R&B. Or maybe CLB was the R&B record, which doesn't really make sense because it is all over the place.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I feel it. So like what your theory is for Drake is that for his discography moving forward, to avoid bloated albums and the albums going in different directions, he's just going to have albums dedicated to a certain sound. So he'll have like an R&B album, he'll have a rap album, he'll have a pop album. He could dabble and do maybe like a country album if he wanted to.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do that, but yeah, exactly. I think that is how it's going to, I think that is how it could play out.
Before we dive into the songs, we've seen now plenty of Drake album covers.
Yeah.
Some of his face, some of him photoshopped on the Space Needle or up in Toronto up there. Him sitting on a table looking down all serious and take care.
We've gotten all sorts of ones.
So with this, right? With this cover, where does this rank as far as Drake album covers go?
Okay, for me, if you put anything on a black or white background, it's automatically one of the worst. I think that's so unoriginal. I don't want to picture within. I don't know. It's like what I want is literally a piece of art. I want a piece of art, something to attach the memory with. And before listening to the record, I didn't like this album cover, but now that I listen to it, it's really just a vibe. It's more dance than music. I think it'd be a little weird to have a picture of Drake. This feels more like an emblem, a symbol, like a logo. It feels like Daft Punk. Like it feels ethereal. It feels like outer space. So I kind of like it now. I do kind of like it now. It also kind of, I don't know. The vibe fits it now. I like it. I was hating on it last
dude.
night.
You know what's crazy that you say that?
Yeah.
Right. We can maybe put on a picture of the album cover in the video.
I do have it. Yeah, it's on the screen right now.
So if we have honestly Nevermind and look at the font, right? Let's quickly just switch over. I didn't even think about that until you just brought it up. Let's look at Daft Punk and their font, right?
Yeah, it looks like Discovery or something.
Yeah, dude, no, legit. Like, look at Discovery. I'm sorry,
Pull it up. Yeah, literally. I
Does that
didn't
not look similar?
Dude, I didn't even think about it. I just saw it. My brain just resurrected that from the ashes.
Does that not look like Discovery? And
I like it now.
Because
cool.
it's a dance hall album like
Yeah.
Discovery is, or house music, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. That's cool.
So
that's
wild,
really cool.
I didn't even think about that.
That's sick. So I like I said, I like it now. But I mean, did you? I was talking crap about it. I said it was not good before we listened to the record. Dude, it's like I love Mac Miller, but all of his records, they feel like he's got awful album art except for maybe like 2 records, right? There's so like Donda has the worst album cover of all time. Like, just give me some sustenance. Give me some sustenance. So let's hop right, dude. I love that we made that connection. Let's hop into the track list.
Sure.
So, I mean, if you want to tell me what you like, I'm still trying to, because I put it on and I just listened to it. I don't even think I know all the different tracks. A couple of them I'm familiar with, but a lot of them just flow, dude. It just flows.
So, okay, all right, so just from a first listen, right?
Yeah.
I'll give you 3 songs that I've already gone back and replayed a couple times already. Earworms, songs that have already gotten stuck in my head.
Tell me,
I
brother.
would say the 3 songs so far, Jimmy Cook's, obviously, the rap song at the end. That one's really good. I would say another one would be, for me, Flights Booked as 2. I love that song.
Where's that? Okay,
and I would say 3 is probably Massive.
Massive's really good.
And something that you mentioned early on is like he was singing on every track.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Dude, the whole record sounds like passion fruit. That's kind of how I saw it. And then, like, you said Currents is another singing record. He liked awesome. You said a pretty awesome beat all the way through.
Except
dude, the bed rocking.
That sample on Currents, the bed squeaking, or it sounds like a rubber duck or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I skip it. I think it's kind of annoying.
You know what that reminds me of? You know what that honestly reminds me of?
What?
Oh God, I'm blanking on the song on Saturation 3. In the club, going up. Is it Hottie?
Yeah.
Listen, the end of Hottie.
We can't play it.
So at the end of Hottie, they have the same sample. It's like the same. Really? At the end. Yeah.
That's cool. I'll have to go back and listen to that.
Go back and play that at the end. I made that connection this morning listening to that song Currents. I was like, oh wait.
Yo, I'll check that
Brock
out.
Lesnar's used this sound before.
I think my favorites, the ones that are sticking out to me, I do like Falling Back a lot. I like Sticky. I remember Sticky and Massive. That's a pretty good back-to-back. I'll be honest, I kind of forget Flights Booked. But I've been listening to this just while I work all day, and it's been cool. Honestly, for me, I think the whole thing's great. Other than because it's just like one giant sound, dude. I love that we made that Daft Punk connection because that's really exciting. I had also texted you. This is something I saw on. Apparently, he was talking about Scary Hours 3. I don't have the clip, but apparently on Sound 42 on his radio show when he premiered Honestly Nevermind, there was actually supposed to be. He said something about Scary Hours 3 coming up this year. So, what do you think that's going to be? Do you think Scary Hours 3 is going to be? Because we can interpret this in different ways. I've thought about this. He's either going to do the thing where he drops Scary Hours, the album, and it contains Scary Hours 1 and 2, plus all these other songs that fit in that narrative, which would be the rap album. That's what he could do. Or he could just drop Scary Hours 3 and it's like 4 tracks or 3 tracks, and you can make the album yourself. But I love the idea of dropping Scary Hours 3. You can call it 3. It's like it is the record. It contains all these dope other songs. There's like amazing songs on the Scary Hour projects.
Hasn't Drake done this in the past before, though, where he's always just released a couple random EPs between records where he'll just say, oh, yeah, like 5 p.m. in Calabasas and Charged Up and right hand. Yeah, sure. Just
he has done that.
Is that what Scary Hours is going to be? Is it just going to be like a segment in between albums where Drake will release like 4 or 5 songs? Probably.
Yeah. So could
it be another?
I'm sorry.
Could it be an album? It could.
I would like it to be an album, dude. And coming off of this, like, he could either be saving face and just like giving himself that leeway where it's like if people aren't receiving this well, chill out. We got more raps coming, right? Which I think is gonna happen regardless. Like Drake's a machine. He's got a team of people. He's always got music ready to come out, right? Like literally, he dropped this record 9 months after CLB. Like it's no problem. But I think you're probably right that it's not going to be. It probably won't contain the previous songs, but if he drops Scary Hour 3 and it's an album, that would be hype. Because the first Scary Hours had God's Plan, Diplomatic Immunity, right? So that was that was Scorpion era. And then Scary Hours 2, some of his best songs ever, dude. What's Next? Wants and Needs, which just resurfaced on the charts. And then Lemon Pepper Freestyle. Great, dude. Great track. Like that's 12. So that's a 12-minute EP. But like if he drops Scary Hours 3, dude, and it's like it's a whole album, maybe it contains this, like maybe it just doesn't contain God's Plan, but it contains like Diplomatic Immunity and these other 3 tracks. Like, it's a Drake record. It's gonna have 20 tracks regardless, right? But that I don't know. That's got me excited. That's got me very confident that the next record he puts out. He said it's going to be this year, but it sounds like it's going to be a rap record.
Maybe that was his plan, but then he's like, honestly, never mind. I'm just going to make this album instead.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't know. It's a lot of speculation there, but and a year doesn't necessarily need to mean in 2022. It could be a year from now. But I think a little bit of that is saving face, but I love the idea of just compiling those into a record. The way I've been looking at Drake's discography, because he has to cut corners and make sure he has content every year. Like if you, just looking back at the last 5 years of his music, right? Like, What a Time to Be Alive. You make a quick collab record, that's right there, right? Then all of a sudden he's repurposing content on Care Package, and then Dark Lane demo tapes again. It's like, if that's true, if those are demos or whatever, like, there were songs on there that did exist. It makes me feel like what he could do is just like, okay, I gave you Care Package, okay, I gave you some demos, and then he goes, okay, well, I've got these songs, let me just throw this at you, right? Or I don't know, I feel like he's running his brand like a business where it's like he's got a 5-10 year plan. That's how I look at it. So he's got these little pockets. You and I were joking that when Drake turns 40, which is in 5 years or something, he's gonna drop the Produced by 40 record. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, 40 for 40. Yeah.
right? Like I feel like he's got all these things planned out, and he dropped honestly Nevermind. In 6 months, it's gonna be 2023, which means we can expect another Drake record.
So this record, well, taking out the intro track, 13 tracks, pretty much around 50 minutes, while his other records were like 20 plus tracks over an hour or so.
Yeah, Certified Lover Boy was an hour and a half. I'm just looking right now.
Do you think personally, what do you prefer? Do you prefer like all these songs available, or do you prefer something short and sweet like this one?
No, I like this one. I mean, it's a little bit of a mixed bag. We talked about it earlier. Like when you told me about this yesterday, I was like, great. We're going to get so many new Drake songs, right? We're going to get so many new Drake songs. And I honestly do like that we get 20 new tracks every year, right? We get the 20 new tracks and they're varying in sound. And this felt a little weird because we got the record and I'm like, okay, it's one sound, it's one style, and I'm liking it. But that means I do have to wait a little bit longer for some like good raps or whatever. I didn't like Certified Lover Boy, so I don't know. Like I'm happy with this, and I like that it's short and sweet because it is focused. That's what I'm saying. Like if we get 3 records in the course of the next 2 years, this is one of them, and they each have their own sound. We're getting all the same music, but it's just like they're individually packaged. Where all of a sudden Drake now has this 3-album run maybe of a focused idea. I'm this 100%. This is a record I will be going back to.
One thing's for sure, with the way that Drake puts out albums, he definitely keeps Universal Music Group very busy every year.
Right, yeah.
Always giving them content to post, and which I don't know the exact details of his record deal, but
someone said he got out of a deal, so this is the first record of a new $1 billion deal, something like that. Let me know in the comments, guys. Yeah, I don't know what the details are on that, but let me know.
If you just think about it, the more albums you put out, you fulfill that contract, and then when it comes to contract negotiations, you probably get a bigger contract.
For real, yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So,
I have a question for you, real quick.
Sure.
So we've seen Drake live before at his tour. Very exciting.
Yeah, we did see him live. Yeah.
That was the Scorpion tour,
Yeah.
and like that had so much energy. Even though like a lot of people may or may not think Scorpion is his greatest work, going there and seeing it live was a totally different experience. I think with this album, honestly, Nevermind presents a very unique opportunity for Drake to be selective of his shows. Like what I mean by that is when he does a tour, imagine a Drake tour being like a huge dance hall party. You know what I'm saying? So like
that would be so sick. I would love to see this live. I don't think he's gonna tour, but I think this is sick. That would be awesome.
So that's my question is, do you think he could tour with this record?
I don't think so. Did he even tour for Certified Lover Boy? I don't think he did.
Oh, so when he tours around again, he's going to have a couple albums to play.
I think so, yeah. I don't think he toured. But, yeah, I for me, if this music was playing, I would want to be able to dance. I would want it to be in an intimate club. And I don't think Drake can do that. I think it would, like, shut down the plant. Or shut down the building,
Can't
literally.
Venues no more.
Yeah, so, like, I don't think that's even an option. Dude, to be honest though, I'm really excited about this record. It's not what I expected. But I do like it a lot. I do like it a lot. I think I like that it's focused. I can just put it on and know what to expect. With a lot of artists nowadays with these bloated projects, I found myself making my own specialty playlists based on and just picking and choosing the music that I do like. So like let's say Drake, for example, I'll have an album where it's literally all the dance songs or all the R&B songs or all the rap songs. I find myself doing that with a lot of artists. And with this, that takes it out of the picture where all of a sudden, dude, I would buy this CD. I would buy this CD, throw it on, and I know what to expect. I could just play it all week long. I don't know. What are your closing thoughts?
So I think this is a great rebound for Drake. We'll see how streams go, how out record sales go. At least as far as public perception, I think this will win a lot more fans back over. It seemed like CLB kind of turned people off away from Drake a little bit, or wasn't as successful. But I think this record will bring people back a little more. I think you're going to get a lot of nostalgic fans that maybe don't like the trap route Drake's gone, and maybe now this record's for them. Like if he's so good
That's
at
how. Yeah, that's how I
he's
feel.
so
We
good
did.
at tailoring to all of his fans and what they want. So, even if they're like fans, I mean, he's been around for a while, so you have fans that are in their 30s and
Yeah.
40s, and if you're watching and you're in that age group, thank you for watching. But what I'm trying to say is like, maybe they're a little turned off by the
I
new age trap sound. So,
I think this
like,
album's gonna be divisive no matter what. Like like everything that I've seen, it's mostly negative. But I know that's because the people who are enjoying it are just chilling on it and enjoying it, right? Because that's what it is. It's a different sound. And it's interesting to see that he actually called this an album. He didn't say this is a
right?
playlist. He literally just said this is an album.
Not well, there were a lot of samples on it, so I thought at first maybe it was a mixtape.
Yeah.
It's not.
I
Yeah.
don't think it matters in the streaming era. It's just like a title, right? It's just like it's just a piece of marketing tool. But dude, I'm excited about this. Maybe we can get back. If you guys enjoy this, we can make another Drake episode. If you want more content like this, go check out Down the Line Media. That's Chris's channel. If you enjoy this, subscribe right here to Dusty Music. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments, and
Honestly, bye.
see ya.